So with Monster Hunter's Mii costume coming back, what is the only Smash for Mii costume left? Tails is pretty cool, so I'd love to see Lloyd come to Smash.
You absolute mongrel!
Whoa,
How
dude,
dare
just
you
chill.
want another anime store guy in Smash? Haven't you feasted enough for one miserable lifetime?
Crash 4 was really fun, and I'm a pretty big Crash fan, so I'd love to see Crash in Smash for some nice variety and...
You bumbling buffoon! You really want the dumb cereal box mascot in this game? Get real for a second!
Why are you doing this? You just can't win, can ya? Ah, Smash Ultimate. My favorite game to fight strangers online about. No matter how into the game you are, there's a little something for everyone to fight over. Smash Bros is a great series because it brings all kind of Nintendo fans into it. Whether you're a casual who thinks Kirby's down B move is great, or someone more competitive who's throwing a party over Palutena having her ridiculous grab range being nerfed. Can I get a let's go? No matter your skill level, everyone can come together and get mutually excited for the new character, and then immediately probably hate that character and hope they like the next one. Then again, and again, and again, and the cycle continues until Nintendo either pulls the plug on Smash Bros, or the heat death of the universe. The Smash speculation hype cycle has been a constant presence ever since the days of the Brawl Dojo over a decade ago. Opening the site every day to see, holy shit, they added Diddy Kong, is a pleasure that I never got to experience because I was a dumb little baby when that game came around. But then years later with Smash 4, Sakurai had his pick of the day every weekday. Through a mixture of my less than dumb brain capacity and unsolicited internet access, I could look at that stuff. Smash 4 was where I really got into the speculation scene for Smash. And I was there, through all the highs and the lows and the Fire Emblem and the Fire Emblem and the Fire Emblem and the Fire Emblem. Yeah, it was great, I loved it. And now with Ultimate, it's been second verse, same as the first. Kinda. From its reveal back in March of 2018, all the way to its release, the speculation and hype cycle was pretty similar to Smash 4, aside from the obvious everyone is here part. Similar expectations, similar complaints, but holy moly! Comparing newcomer talk years ago to newcomer talk during the Fighter Pass times has been night and day. It's always had its toxicity, but it feels like it's been turned up to 11, and talking about any character is pretty much walking into a minefield. Head first, buck naked. I've been very happy with the Ultimate DLC. Joker was awesome and unexpected. Hero was the closest thing Ultimate has given me to a dream character. Banjo was cool. Terry was someone I never knew I wanted so much. Byleth? Marin was cool. Steve? Okay, I get it, but I'm not a Minecraft fan, nor do I care about this character, species, thing, person? I don't know what he is. Not for me. Sephiroth was, Sephiroth. Not much more needs to be said there. It's Sephiroth. And Pyra and Mithra were really cool, but came at the expense of the character that I actually really wanted and was a dream character for me. So, meh. But overall, pretty good. But I'm just one guy, and not everyone is a huge fan of these characters. Different opinions and all that, don't they just suck? Joker, Hero, Banjo, Terry, Sephiroth. A solid half or more of the DLC fighters have been big third-party characters. With the fighter passes, third parties have been more the norm than the exception, which is the first time that has ever been the case. Because of that, it's led to the center of discussion always being about these big third-party characters. Look at any discussion thread on any website. And who are the big names? Dante, Sora, Crash, Phoenix Wright, Eggman, Lloyd, Rayman. Nintendo's Fighter Pass picks have made it so that the talk is always about the big third-party bombshells, and inversely, first-party characters are seen as lesser or boring in comparison. The only first-party character people bring up is the quote-unquote inevitable Gen A Pokemon, and maybe once in a blue moon someone will bring up Bandana D. It's just kind of accepted now, but it's bonkers. Just think about it. Years ago, Dante was never talked about. Now, you can talk about it if you don't want Dante in the game. And if you dare say you want a Nintendo character in the Nintendo game, then you're boring, you're wrong, you're stupid, you're an ignoramus, you're a nincompoop. When did it get to a point where you're seen as less crazy for saying Master Chief has a chance than Dixie Kong? How are we at the point where characters who've never even appeared on a Nintendo console are being talked about way more than Nintendo's own characters. It's to the point where people have talked so much about these characters that they've convinced themselves that character X and Y are locks or should be in the game, and they'll be the ones complaining when the characters they convinced themselves were happening aren't going to be in the game. Remember when people would freak out because you got characters like Little Mac or Greninja? Those days seem long gone. The average person in the speculation scene would never get super hyped for Andy Advance Wars or Captain Syrup anymore. They'd just be going, "Where's Dante? That ain't Rayman, that could've been Doom Guy." Yeah, it kinda reeks, but I can't really blame them that much. Even back in Brawl and Smash 4, the most hyped newcomers were the third-party ones. Snake, Sonic, Mega Man, Cloud. But back then, they were way more the exception than the norm. For every Ryu, there were 3 or 4 Palutinas. Heck, even in the base Ultimate roster, there was only one fully new third-party character. Fully new. Fully new. But now it's the exact opposite. And while it's really cool in its own right, you know, it's always cool to go, "Holy sh*, it's Joker from Persona 5. Holy sh*, it's the Luminary from Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition, available now on all platforms. And holy, it's Banjo from Sonic and Sega also racing on the Xbox 360. Yeah, that's all awesome, but I can't help but feel that something's been a little lost. The day speculating about weird Nintendo picks seems long gone. Imagine if Duck Hunt wasn't already in the game. Do you think anyone would be talking about him? No. And you'd probably be laughed out the room for suggesting the Duck Hunt dog from Duck Hunt in this day and age. And that kinda sucks, cause there's a lot of cool first party characters left. There's still so many Nintendo characters that people want to see get added to Smash. It feels though people tend to forget that for a while, Smash was solely a Nintendo fighter. While anyone can see that it's definitely shifted from a Nintendo celebration to a gaming celebration, it did still start as a Nintendo celebration, and there was a time when third parties were rarely expected. Now they're just a bit too expected. It's no coinkydink that the newcomers with the least universal hype have been the first party ones. But that's a shame, because first parties where all the weird stuff's at. We got a plant, we got a girl with wacky arms, and... okay. Anime swords. If there's one character archetype Smash fans are seemingly sick and tired of, it's gotta be the quote-unquote anime sword fighter. Throughout Smash 4 and Ultimate, there's been a greater amount of characters who I guess fit this description, and some people find it repetitive and want more variation in the characters. Usually these complaints are a lot of gobbledygook, but I can see where some of it comes from. Now if you actually play the characters, it's pretty obvious these sword fighters don't play the same. Hero doesn't play like Shulk, Pyro doesn't play like Ike, heck Marth and Roy don't even play the same if you actually use them both. But you kinda get into the nitty gritty to figure that stuff out. Little Timmy doesn't know that Marth has a tipper while Lucina has consistent damage. Medium Timbo over here doesn't know his Sword of Light from his Masamune. He just sees an anime character with a sword, and he gets bored. Now I'm not Little Timmy or Medium Jimbo. I think most of the sword characters are at least somewhat cool and pretty different from each other. But I can understand that some people may see these characters and have them all congeal in their minds. Swords rule, and the last 2 characters are Lloyd and Sora, and I'd be on cloud 9. But really, there's only so many ways you can swing a sword if you really get down to it. However, it's not just the sword characters that people shake their fist and yell at the clouds about. Dante, Sora, a lot of the popular characters have swords. And really, people wouldn't be so against the swordies if it weren't for this thing. It's from this. There's about 20 or so sword characters, you know, give or take plus or minus 50, and with 8 of these dudes, almost half of the swordies are from the same series. Not to mention, most of them look almost identical. Most of them have blue hair, average builds, looks that either make you affirm or question your sexuality, and a sword of course, pretty much the same kind of aura and kinds of lines.
I will cut a path! My path is clear!
I won't lose!
I won't lose!
I cannot lose.
Prepare yourself!
You know, that kind of stuff. And for all intents and purposes, half of them are just Marth. Half of them are derivative of the same guy. And even further, most of them have a down B counter. So of course they're gonna blend together in a lot of people's minds. I think that if it weren't for all these cardboard cutouts, the anime sword complaints would be so much lesser than they are. People aren't really tired of sword fighters, they're tired of Fire Emblem characters. But also, they're tired of average, human-built, anime art style stylized characters who tend to have a sort of a medium length and a medium height and a medium build. You know, human type proportion anime people. The answer is simple, saying it not so much. Ever notice how no one seems to talk about Toon Link or Meta Knight when they complain about anime swordsmen? Heck, Meta Knight has been in an anime before, so he's way more of an anime swordsman than the ones in the game already. Yeah, that's right, you Shulk. So these guys got swords too. Why doesn't anyone get mad at them? Simple. Look at him. Toon Link's a cartoon-looking lad with big cat eyes and a comically large head. He looks closer to the Earthbound boys than any of the other Zelda characters even. And Meta Knight is a ball who can engage in armed combat. Guys like these don't look like the average anime sword fighter, so the ones who are into the game can of course tell them apart, but even the average Joe can tell them apart. There are 3 Links, but these same 3 dudes are way easier to differentiate than these guys. All that being said, one thing people gotta realize about swords is that aside from fists, swords have got to be the most common type of weapon seen in just about any media. Video games, shows, probably some nerds fighting in the street. Swords are everywhere. They're versatile, can be designed and utilized in so many ways, lead to a ton of different sword-based fighting styles, and above all else, they're so cool! Swords are so cool, they're the coolest thing! Come on, you don't have to love Pyra, but she's got a fire sword. How can that not be the coolest thing? It's already been done. Alright, maybe you don't have to like Pyra, but don't you dare say you dislike Pyra and want someone like Crash, because how dare— How did wanting guys like these become so controversial? How has the norm twisted and shifted so much that the very kinds of characters Smash originated with are now the kinds of characters you'll get jumped in the street for wanting? If someone out there isn't a huge fan of Sephiroth or Pyra, they're assumed to be one of those people who wants only their mascot type characters in Smash. There's this split in the scene where you either have to want Reginald von JRPG Stein III, or you have to want Bingo Bango from Bingo Bango and the Tumultuous Tangle, the Rocky platform mascot guy. You have to either want one or the other, and you could just want both. The Smash characters you want don't have to align with this two-party system. This ain't America. You can want whoever you want, as long as it isn't Waluigi. Not everyone's into JRPGs, and it's fine if people want something a little wackier and less conventionally human. Final Fantasy doesn't appeal to everyone, but everyone likes Mario. Xenoblade isn't everyone's cup of tea in it, but everyone likes Kirby. Some people just prefer the cartoony mascot type characters, and why is that a bad thing? Those guys are fun. The last 2 characters were Bandana D and Captain Toad. I'd bring the roof down with how loud I shouted in excitement. That would own. There's so many games and genres out there with wild designs and varying art styles that would be a ton of fun to see in Smash. A cartoony puzzle fighter, a rhythm-based character, whatever Rayman is. And hey, we don't have any sports characters yet. Yeah, that's right. Tony Hawk should come to Smash. That'll please everybody, because everybody loves Tony Hawk. He'd be perfect for Smash. His moveset writes itself. How has this not happened yet? Forget Goku. Forget any other guy. Just put Tony Hawk in the game. If Nintendo weren't cowards, they put Tony Hawk in the game. Anyway, what was I saying? These guys are fun. Give them a chance. Another common tendency with newcomer talk is that people get wrapped up in their own web of fan rules that has to dictate who's possible and who's not possible. Things like spirits deconfirming when the timing of said spirit events lines up with X and Y, or we already got type X of characters so they wouldn't add Y character, blah blah blah, things like that, you know. Things that Nintendo and Sakurai probably just don't care about. The fans' rules' existence does make sense though when you think about it. If they added Mii costume for a character now, it stands to reason they wouldn't add them next, because then why would they bother with the Mii costume now when they could have saved the Mii costume for the more related character? Even I use that logic, which is why I don't think we're getting a Gen 8 Pokemon personally. But, for all the rules the community has come up with, Nintendo's gonna do whatever they want. Sephiroth was added, so nobody can get another square character like Sora, right? Yeah, that makes sense if you think about it, but Nintendo could just do it. Astral Chain got a spear event way back when, so no way they would add an Astral Chain character, right? Well, Nintendo could just do it, even though that makes sense. Nintendo could just decide if they want to that they want Shadow or Isaac in the game. Maybe some executive son was just a real fan of that character. People always say they want more hype third-party characters for the rest of the past. Nintendo does not care. They could add Wonder Red and Brittany Pikmin 3 as last characters if they really wanted to. All these fan rules just make things so much messier and less fun than it needs to be. Assist trophies might not even matter, because even though they added Min Min, they could have added Spring Man, but Yabuki just asked, "Hey, can I get Min Min in the game?" And Sakurai said yes! That's all I needed. If Yabuki added her Spring Man, they could have just added him even though he's an assist trophy and it wouldn't have mattered. And Rex is a Mii costume, sure, but they were gonna add him! But the Switch wasn't powerful enough to render both Rex and Pyra 8 times over, so they went with just Pyra. Unfortunate! No, you were so close! If the Switch was better, we could've had Rex in the game, no! Basically, fan rules are logical, but they're also nonsense. So would you believe me if I said I still enjoyed Smash speculation? Yeah, I wouldn't either. It's definitely a lot less fun than it used to be, but there's still some fun to be had if you don't get caught up in all the fan rules and all the ickiness. Ironically, despite the playing field being seemingly larger than it's ever been, in some ways it feels like less characters are being talked about than ever before. If you don't want the currently talked about favorite, you're gonna get smacked. If you aren't a fan of the newly added character, you're gonna get smacked. If you like a newly added character, you're still probably gonna get smacked. If you have a preference for one type of character versus another, or one genre over another, do I even need to say it? No matter what angle you come at it, you probably aren't leaving with at least a little bit of pain. Who you want in this Nintendo Party Fighter is a real small tightrope over a pit of lava that is opinions. Yeah, it kinda sucks, but if you're lucky you might have some fun. Talking about this game is so volatile when the topic should be a lot more fun. Want who you want! It's Smash Bros! Anyone is possible. Except Goku. Unless it's absolutely ridiculous, no reason to get on anyone's case over who they want to see punch Mario and Link. The guy who wants Dante and Eggman isn't any more right or wrong than the guy who wants Aro and the Chorus Kids. Anyone you want is valid, as long as it isn't Fortnite Jonesy. Honestly, I think it'd be great if Nintendo just pulled the rug out from everybody and added 2 more characters no one was talking about. Had the last 2 characters be Laharl and Donshan, or Pushmo and Rock Rider, or 9volt in the Pea Shooter, or Soul Bad Guy and Tingle. No. Go even crazier, and make the last fighters Gino and Ashley and just shatter all expectations. Just go absolutely bonkers, and show that at the end of the day, Nintendo doesn't care. They ask Sakurai whoever they want, and they don't give even the smallest of damns about whatever rules the fans make up. This is their game, and they have all the say at the end of the day. So just talk about whoever you want. Anyone can get in. Mostly. Kinda. It's Smash Bros. Have fun with it. So basically, put Stanley the Bugman in the game.